James Stonier, how you doing, my man? Been a little while since we talked to you. You seem like you're thick, large, and in charge. How's everything
Hey,
going overall?
it's going good. I'm just hungry, man. I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat, bro.
Yeah, I know you're still in the rankings. You know, the last Power Slap number 6, you've seen a bunch of heavyweights come in, some of the new guys. Anything impress you? How do you think you stack up against some of those new guys in your division?
Honestly, I mean, a lot of people don't know, but Brian Ellis was supposed to be my first competition. Apparently, something during his medicals and Power Slap 2 went wrong.
Okay.
So I ended up with Cory call out Corbin, and we all know how that went. Um, but man, I've been spending so much time here training and watching and rewatching those videos. On the super side of things, I feel that there's a couple of the guys for sure that I can compete with. Um, I got to give Crazy his due diligence and say, I feel like I could stand up to a hit or two, but uh, we all know how that goes. Crazy's crazy. Um, and the new South African guy, Dan, he's a pretty good powerhouse. Got a good chin on him. Heavyweight wise, uh, man, I don't see too much. I don't see too much. Um, no disrespect to Nate, but I mean, we even discussed it. There are certain things that we both need to be doing different on the defensive side of things that we've been watching on the offensive side of things, and they're not calling it like they used to call it. So definitely some things that need to change in the defense side of things. Um, Ryan Phillips, the King of Kings, has put himself out there as definitely somebody to beat, and I feel like I'd have a good standing with him with everything that I've been doing here lately in the last 6 months of training. Uh, but other than that, man, I mean, I'm not really seeing too much. Crespo had a really good match that last match, but at the same time, Crespo fouled twice and didn't get called on it. So, I mean, I feel like there's a little bit of favoritism that's shown in that as well.
Yeah. I mean, you just unpacked a lot. So you said Brian Ellis was supposed to be the first competitor. When was that again? Was that Power Slap 3?
No, that was Power Slap 2. He was the first guy that I signed my first contract with.
Okay.
But I got the call back from Erica, and he said something had went south with his medicals. I think it was something to do with one of his eyes or something. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But then that's when they gave me the old call out Corbin, and I've heard some rumors that he may be coming back as well. Actually, you can't say coming back because he's never really been there. So there's always that.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely you're unpacking a lot. You went over the heavyweights and the super heavies. Was that match with Brian supposed to be at heavy or super?
It was supposed to be a heavy, but I'm looking more towards the graceful side of things and knowing that I could go with the weight that I'm sitting at now, which I'm sitting at 270. I could go up or down and make my weight, and I'd have no problem doing it.
Do you have a preference of where you want to peak? I know right now you're in the rankings at heavy, but do you have a preference where you want your next match to be?
Honestly, I'm kind of on the fence on it, man. Really, if you look at it, I can definitely compete in the super, and I can compete in the heavy. My last match, I know where I messed up. I know that I screwed up. my hydration wasn't there, but I can definitely tell you, both are on my radar. So I can go either way.
Gotcha. Well, I want to talk about a little something you popped up on Facebook.
Yeah.
How in the fuck does Cory call out Corbin, get a fucking match before me is astonishing. Let's talk about it.
Bro, listen. I showed up and showed out in my first match. I was supposed to compete at heavy. Cory call out Corbin. Number 2 decided that he was gonna call out on me on the second one, and whatever the circumstances may be, bro, you're on a bottom level scale. The least you could have done was shown up and made that money, especially with everything that you said you had going on in your life. Then on top of that, you called out on Brian Dozier on Power Slap 1. Then I get a message from one of the Power Slappers. I'm not going to mention no names just because due to the fact that we're not even really supposed to know certain people are supposed to have matches yet. But to find out that wannabe fucking Power Slapper got a match over me, and let alone got a match over me, but it wasn't against me, or it wasn't against Brian Dozier, which, to be honest with you, Brian Dozier deserves it even more. So I told the Power Slapper that is involved with that match that I swear to God I'd give him $1,000 if he made that motherfucker eat the inside of his cheek. Like, he has no business standing up in Power Slap at all. He has no business. People have just listened to his sad sob stories online and have vouched for him so much that they have given him another opportunity. It's just like Amir Nuruddin. Now, he calls himself the comeback kid. They need to call him the letback kid, because it ain't because he's coming back. It's because they letting him come back. So I just look at it like this, man. There's certain people that are still a part of this sport that have no business being a part of it. I know I've only been in it for 2 matches. I know one of those matches I won by unanimous decision, and the other one I lost. I felt like I should have been able to continue to compete, but I feel like they called it a little early on me, where, especially after seeing some of these other matches where the guys were stumbling slightly the same way I was, but they still let him continue. I think there's a little bit of favoritism that comes to that as well. But, dude, to give somebody a match who's called out twice over somebody who's shown up, put their chin out there, and never been called for a flinch or anything else, I legitimately stuck my chin out there and let somebody smack the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
To watch somebody who doesn't have a single fucking business stepping foot in that ring, let alone in the apex or anything else, it flew all over me. It flew all over me.
Yeah. You're good, my man.
Huh?
You know, how much would it mean to you to get that opportunity to go up against Cory? I know it was supposed to happen before. I know you talked on social that you'd love to, and it's seemingly now that you would love it more than ever to be able to go up against him.
I wouldn't ask for a single dime for that match at all. As long as you pay for me to get there and you pay for my food while I'm there, I wouldn't ask for a single dime, and you could let him line up and hit me first.
Gotcha. So could it happen in the backyard as well?
It could happen wherever he wants it to.
I think you guys are fairly close to each other. I think you're both in Florida or on the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah, he's up there in Boston, and I hate to say that too, because I mean that's disrespect to Boston, man. I'm a Red Sox fan all day long, but
okay,
he's actually from that area. I'm originally from Vermont, but raised here in the South in South Carolina. Yeah. And I've always been a Boston fan, so I hate to say that he even lives in the same state as them.
Gotcha. Let's bring it back to you a little bit. As you said, you've had 2 opportunities there in Power Slap. I know we've spoken, both online and offline about your performances. What do you think it's going to take for you to get another opportunity?
Honestly, it seems like the only way I'm going to get an opportunity is if I show myself bodybuilding in social media. I don't know what it's going to take, to be honest with you. I've sat back and I've tried to understand this matchmaking portion of Power Slap, let alone what it takes to get the callbacks. And I was a little unsure of myself after winning by a unanimous decision, but the growth that my video had made on TikTok that first couple of weeks is what got me my callback for 4. It wasn't really anything other than that. I feel like I didn't get my opportunity to hit back on Power Slap 5 or on Power Slap 4. It just didn't go my way. The doctors called it too soon. But I'm watching guys that foul left and right, but get knockouts, get called back before I do. It really doesn't. It really seems like it doesn't matter if it's clean or not. They just want to see the violence of it. They want to see somebody get knocked out. Where I'm still going to be clean. I've got a whole different lineup on how I slap now, and a whole different way that I use for my defense now. And I could tell you, it ain't going to end the same way. Never again will it end the same way.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously they want it. The more you can keep on winning, the more you can have viral knockouts. The more your stock is going to rise. But what are you doing every day to come back? I know you said you made some changes. You training hard, you eating right. Like what's going on the back end?
Well, my biggest issue, which was kind of an issue that was personal, was my drinking. So my drinking has pretty much come to a stop. I've become more of a drinker of occasion than a drinker of every day. On top of that, I do 2-a-day workouts. Every morning before I go to work, I go and I do a quick hour workout. And then every day when I get off of work, I go do an 1.5 to 2 hour workout. I try to stop with as much of the fried foods and sugars, no more sodas or anything like that, so that I could try to keep my weight at a minimum. I've completely did so much research on rewatching and not just Power Slap, but Slap Fight. Everything that ever had to do with slapping competitions and how they hit and how their feet moved, how their body moved. I've gone through boxing exercises and everything else to work on my speed and my rotation and all with keeping my feet planted. I've completely changed up my entire slap from the beginning to the end. All the way down to just the people that I hang around. Everything has pretty much changed, my lifestyle, and I've got to give it to Power Slap for that, because if it wasn't for that, I'd probably still be the same average Joe building fence every day and drinking beer until it was time to go to sleep.
What's your motivation for the change? It seems personal.
My motivation for the change is several things. One, it's my family, first and foremost, my family and God. My wife and my sons and my daughter, me trying to get my daughter to be with me, my sons, and the fact that they need a role model that isn't just present, but also is there for them no matter what. On top of that, I'm tired of living like the average Joe and being the broke guy that's got to live paycheck to paycheck. I mean, just last year, from where I was to where I am now, I went from a 1-bedroom house or a 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom, to now I'm living in a 5-bedroom house with 3 bathrooms and a playroom for my kids, and everybody has their own room, including me. I've got my own room.
Nice.
You know?
That's buddy.
So my wife's biggest thing with our last home was we only had 1 door, which was the front door. So we didn't have anything to get to our backyard. Now we have 3 sliding back doors with 3 patios on the back of our house. So, you know, Dana and Frank and Erica and God, not to put them all in the same category, but at the same time, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have anything of what I have now. So that's a big fight for me. That, and after I had my back surgery, which is, you know, even Brandon Boudreaux, he's got the same back surgery that I have, you know, and we both thought the same thing, man. We thought we're never going to be a professional athlete, let alone be able to train our body to be anything other than fat guys or the average Joe. And we've been given the opportunity to call ourselves professional athletes, even though, you know, you got people out there that, you know, contradict that, try to say we're not. Stand up and do what we do and then say that we're not. Like, there's a lot that goes into what we do. There's a lot of skill that goes into what we do. It's not just people standing up there bitch slapping each other across the table. You know, there's rules, there's regulations, there's 100 different ways to slap a man and knock him out, you know. So it's a fight for myself, it's a fight for my kids, it's a fight for my wife. It's a fight to prove not only to everybody else but myself and God that my size wasn't for nothing.
Absolutely. So the last time I asked you this question, it went viral. Dana White posted it to his story. But if Erica is watching this interview, what do you want to say to her?
Erica, on a real damn note, I love you to death. You're the best matchmaker in the whole damn world, and I never put any dishonest on you. But golly, dude, you've got Brian Ellis that's sitting there. You've got Crespo. You've got Phillips. I'll take Nate. I'll take anybody. I'll take Crazy. I'll take the Hitman. I'll take Dan. I'll take anybody that you can line up against me, that's willing to stand up against me. I am ready to take. I know where my fuck ups were. I know where my mess up was. I know that I've changed that, and I can damn sure tell you that when I come in here, I am ready to eat, man. I'm ready to eat. I'm tired. I'm tired of sitting here with a spoon in a bowl and nothing in it. I'm hungry. I'm ready. I got milk waiting. Where's my cereal? Come on, man. Put me in here. Put me in here. 6 months. 6 months I've been sitting on the back burner. Come on now. At this point, fried chicken would be burnt. Let's go.
Awesome, buddy. I appreciate you joining me, James. Seems like you're doing well. Seems like you're making a lot of positive changes. I'm sure we'll see you back there. Obviously, not everybody can get on every card, but glad to hear you're ready to go. I'm sure we'll see you up there real soon, my man. Take care. We'll talk soon, okay?
Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, my man.